$1.5 trillion. That's not just a number, it's a symbol of the immense resources at stake in America's future. That's the staggering figure at the heart of Donald Trump's proposed 2027 military budget, a sum that dwarfs the defense spending of any other nation on Earth. This isn't just a budget increase, it's a fundamental reimagining of America's global role, signaling a new era of military ambition and reach. At $1.5 trillion, it would be the largest military expenditure in U.S. history, even when adjusted for inflation, surpassing Cold War peaks and post-9/11 surges. Supporters call it a necessary investment to rebuild a military they say is stretched thin, modernizing equipment, expanding forces, and ensuring American strength for decades to come. Opponents see a dangerous gamble, ballooning debt, deep cuts to essential services, and a risky shift in national priorities that could leave millions vulnerable at home. The debate is about more than dollars. It's about what kind of country America wants to be, and what values should guide its future. Does security mean unmatched military power, or a balance with domestic needs like healthcare, education, and infrastructure that support everyday life? This proposal forces a national conversation. What does security mean in the 21st century, and who gets to decide? Is it just military might, or also economic strength, healthy alliances, and the well-being of citizens at home? The $1.5 trillion question isn't just for politicians, it's for every American, in every community, to consider and debate. The stakes could not be higher. The choices made now will echo for generations. But what does $1.5 trillion buy? It's a staggering sum, enough to reshape the world's most powerful military and redefine what security means for a nation. A massive naval expansion, new aircraft carriers, advanced submarines, and destroyers to dominate the Pacific. Shipyards would buzz with activity, building fleets designed to project power and deter rivals across vast oceans. The Air Force would see next-generation fighter jets and long-range bombers, plus a vast fleet of advanced drones for surveillance and combat. These upgrades promise faster response times, greater reach, and unmatched air superiority. Space becomes a battlefield, with new satellites and defenses to protect American assets in orbit. Cutting-edge technology would guard communications, navigation, and intelligence networks from emerging threats above the atmosphere. The plan includes a significant pay raise for service members, better housing, and improved health care for military families. It's an investment in the people behind the uniforms, aiming to boost morale and support those who serve. Bases would be upgraded, aiming to attract and retain top talent. Modern training centers and living quarters would help prepare troops for the challenges of tomorrow's conflicts. Advanced missile defense systems would create a multi-layered shield against ballistic threats, including futuristic tech like space-based sensors and directed energy weapons. These innovations promise to intercept dangers before they reach American soil. The vision: an America not just ready to fight but fortified against attack. A fortress in the Western Hemisphere. Every base, every border, reinforced to withstand new and evolving threats. Supporters argue this is the only way to deter adversaries and secure the nation's future. They see overwhelming strength as the ultimate guarantee of peace and stability. Critics question if more spending equals more security or just more risk. They warn of unintended consequences, ballooning costs, and the dangers of an unchecked arms race. The arsenal is vast, but so is the price. Every new weapon, every new system comes with a cost. One measured not just in dollars, but in choices about the nation's future. Why now? What's driving this dramatic shift in U.S. defense strategy at this particular moment in history? Supporters point to a world growing more dangerous, especially the rise of China as a military and economic rival. They argue that China's rapid military modernization and expanding global influence pose new challenges that the U.S. can't ignore. The plan is rooted in the America First doctrine: less global policing, more focus on defending U.S. interests at home and in the Pacific. It's about prioritizing American security above all else and ensuring resources are directed where they matter most. It calls for pulling back from some overseas commitments, demanding allies shoulder more of their own defense. The U.S. would reduce its footprint abroad, encouraging partners to take greater responsibility for their own security. The goal: build a military strong enough to dominate the Western Hemisphere and Pacific, deterring rivals without endless foreign entanglements. It's about readiness, deterrence, and strategic focus, not open-ended conflicts. Supporters say it's a long overdue correction. America has carried the global security burden too long, often at great cost in lives and resources. They believe it's time for a new approach. Critics warn this could weaken alliances and leave the U.S. isolated on the world stage, potentially undermining decades of international cooperation and trust. The $1.5 trillion budget is the tool for this new strategy, one built for great power competition, not nation building. It's a massive investment aimed at reshaping the military for a new era. The logic: in a world of rising threats, America must be able to stand alone if necessary, prepared to defend its interests with strength and resolve. Critics warn the plan could explode the national debt, risking inflation, higher interest rates, and a weaker dollar. To avoid borrowing, deep cuts to Social Security, Medicare, education, and infrastructure would be needed. Opponents argue true security includes strong schools, healthcare, and roads, not just military hardware. The opportunity cost is massive. $1.5 trillion could overhaul infrastructure, fund free college, or fight climate change. Some experts say smarter, more efficient defense, not just more spending, would better serve America's security. Investing in diplomacy and technology, they argue, could be more effective and less costly. The debate is guns versus butter on an epic scale. Is this plan a path to strength or a recipe for economic hardship? The America First strategy would reshape U.S. alliances. By focusing on the Western Hemisphere and Pacific, the plan signals to Europe, you're on your own. NATO could weaken, and allies may boost their own militaries or seek new partnerships. In Asia, Japan, and South Korea might develop more assertive defenses, raising regional tensions. Supporters say it's time for wealthy allies to pay their fair share and become more self-reliant. Critics warn this could lead to American isolation and a fragmented, unstable world. Without U.S. leadership, regional powers may compete for dominance, risking new conflicts. The shift could dismantle the international order that has kept major powers at peace for decades. America's retreat may save resources, but at what global cost? The world is watching and recalibrating. The U.S. stands at a crossroads. Supporters see a military so powerful it guarantees peace and lets America focus on its own hemisphere. Opponents see runaway debt, domestic cuts, and a retreat from global leadership that could backfire. This isn't just about strength versus weakness. It's about what kind of strength matters most. Is America safer with unmatched military might, or with a balance of power, prosperity, and partnerships? The choice will define the nation's character and global role for decades. Is Trump's $1.5 trillion plan a bold investment in security, or a reckless gamble with America's future? The answer will shape the next American era.